Hey Matt, it looked like Jacksonville was either getting two offensive linemen on DeForest a lot or sliding their protections that way. Is that just kind of the way his life's going to be in there in terms of teams paying him attention, or was that out of the ordinary?
No, I don't think that's out of the ordinary. When you have a good three technique, you're going to always bring protection that way. Either the center comes to them, or sometimes they in drop back pass they'll inside chip with the halfback as he releases, just to give that guy help if the center's going the other way. So, you'll get that with a lot of guys of that caliber. So we did see a bit of that Sunday, and he's going to get a lot of that this year. So we're going to have to do some things to help him out that way, and that means other guys are one on one also, and they got to win their one on ones.
What else can you do to help him when he's got that?
Yeah, well, you can do some things to help him to take the help away. So if he's getting help, for example, from the center, you can do some things with your alignments and your adjustments in terms of bringing the center the other way to help with the protection. And then he's got a one-on-one with the guard. So, and that's what you're always trying to get. And you can create that sometimes by what you do. So that's what we'll try to do that some more. And again, we had some good one-on-ones on Sunday too.
Zach Kiefer.
Matt, this question isn't necessarily pegged to Sunday's game. When you were coming up as a coach, and I'm sure you had a lot of influences, why did the 4-3, why did this particular scheme become your scheme? Why did it stand out above the others, and why do you think it works better than some others?
Yeah, I mean, the influences that I had coming up, all the years in college that I had, 18 years in college, and then the 13 years in the pros, so I would say that, it's been a lot of influences during the course of the time. And, I would say that, my college influence was Coach Saban in terms of like, how to play the game, the game in terms of defensive play. And how to do it the right way, and and the intensity it takes, and how you have to be wired in to play on that side of the ball, because their team has the ball and we got to be on it. We got to be reacting and doing a great job with our keys and doing a great job attacking them during the course of the game. In terms of the 4-3 scheme, we implemented that way back in the early 2000s, 2003. I put it in at the University of Missouri, and I came here and I went to Chicago at the time. So I visited with Coach Dungy and then Lovie Smith shortly after that. So we started to put that scheme in at that point. And then I went to the pros and I got a lot of mix. So then I went to the 3-4 system. And in the 3-4 system, I was with the New England Patriot way of doing things. So you'll see a different mix in there of the 4-3 and the 3-4 in terms of the coverages and also the front variation. So not necessarily 3-4, but certainly in sub down. So there's a lot of difference in there in terms of experience, and I think that helps us in terms of attacking different offenses every single week.
Ken Bone.
Hey, Matt, when you look at Sunday's game, it seemed like several times DBs kind of arms in the air after plays, a little bit confused, maybe pointing to guys. Did you see that as well, specifically, I guess, from your corner group?
Yeah, there was on third down. We actually did a good job of really, making him scramble. You saw that he scrambled a few times. So there was, out of the 29 dropbacks, he had 4 sacks, and then he also had 5 scrambles. So we had him choking the ball, and we're doing some different things there on third down that we haven't done in terms of our coverages. So we're working through those things, and the guys did a good job in a lot of those instances, and we made the corrections today, like we always do. And we're evaluating as we go, and we're moving forward to the next week and implementing our plan for the Vikings.
Jake Arthur.
Hey, Coach. Coming off a game where there was only one incompletion, you've got a quarterback this week in Kirk Cousins who often just kind of takes what the defense gives him. How can you shrink up those windows this week and maybe force him into some more difficult throws?
Yeah, I think it's like any week. You want to take away what they're doing early in the down by rerouting receivers, by if you're playing match coverage, you want to do that. If you're playing man free, you want to be tight in your coverage. So we do all those different things during the course of the game, and we got to do a great job of handling the run game. Because everything runs through their halfback, and we know that with this group, and it's going to be a big challenge for us going forward this week.
Jim Ayala.
Hey, Matt, I know by the nature of the defense, there's gonna be some high completion percentages based on you want to keep the ball in front of you a lot of the time. But was there, in terms of leading to the points the Jaguars scored, were there particular breakdowns that happened, after some of those completions that were concerning for you on Sunday?
Yeah, the things that we look at for last Sunday is that we had that, the first couple of series were solid. We needed to stop the run better to start the game. And then what we did, we tightened up, obviously in the second half in the run game, did a nice job there. The one thing that we need to do a better job of is in sudden change. When you get that sudden change with that first score, we have to come out there and execute and do a good job of holding guys to field goals and have the chance to block one. And that's where we addressed the group today, and we need to do a better job with that going forward.
Bill B.
Hey, Coach, thanks for your time. I piggyback a little bit off that. The 3 touchdown passes, we're not experts like you, but we look and it looks like we see guys that just aren't in the right spot or they don't react well. Maybe we're staring at the quarterback too long. What can you say about, hey, it's not as bad as it looks, even though on those 3 plays look bad?
Yeah. So, when you get a breakdown, every NFL team, offense, defense, and kicking right now is looking at and evaluating the tape and over the last 48 hours from the game. And we did the same, so we addressed those issues with each particular play, good or bad. When we made good plays, we talked about those. And when we made bad plays or plays that we need to correct, like every unit in the NFL, we address those as well. So each individual player and technique's been addressed, and we're moving forward from there.
Stephen Holder.
Hey, Matt, one other question on Sunday. I should know this answer, but I haven't had a chance to see the coaches' film, so I don't know. You talked when a quarterback gets in a rhythm like that, 19 to 20. You talked about being able to reroute receivers being one of the ways you can disrupt that timing. How much of that did you guys do on Sunday? And and if so, was it not successful, or just how much of a role was that in your game on Sunday?
Yeah, it's always a role in our game and be able to match receivers or reroute receivers in our pass defense. Like I said before, there's also 9 times where he dropped back where he was sacked, and held the ball because of our pass coverage, and also he scrambled. And now in the scrambling, we have to do a better job in our rush lanes with our defensive line. So we talked about that with those guys. In terms of rush integrity, rush lanes, we talked about inside, outside rush lanes to the right and to the left, and we can't give the big B-gap escapes in the rush lane. So we talked about that, and we're getting that addressed, and we're correcting that.
We'll do a couple more. Zach Kiefer.
Matt, I realize the defense is going to give up some completions, but over the last 6, I think you guys are giving opposing quarterbacks a 76% completion rate. That's really, really, really high. Is that a number that you can live with, or is that something that's really worrying you?
No, that's
some stats can jump out, right?
Yeah, there's no question that we have to improve that, and we will improve that. We have confidence in our process. We have confidence in our players, and we have confidence in our scheme. And there's no question that has to improve, and it's going to improve. And we're just going to keep chipping away at it, and we'll get better at it as we go.
Kevin Bowen.
Matt, what did you see from Xavier in his first game in your system?
Yeah, I think he started out well, in terms of the game that he had. I thought he tackled well. I thought he did a good job in coverage, and he wants to have 2 plays back. The 2 plays that he wants to have back is the DPI that he had. He's got to look and lean on that one, and we talked to him about that. And the other one was he's got to cover the guy in man coverage on the last play. And again, we got to do a better job as coaches setting them up, because it is always coach and player. And I know that just talking to him, I thought he played solid at times. And then again, he's got to wish he had those 2 plays back, but those plays are over and we got to move forward.
Last question, Jim Milo.
Yeah, Kevin kind of jumped. I was going to ask you about Xavier, but just to go maybe a step further, is there going to be, I know he's a veteran, but a learning curve in terms of communication and learning your defense? And then 2, just to address that, he's got a game against a pretty familiar team. You know him pretty well. Is he going to be, I don't know, do you expect him to be a little more highly motivated going against the Vikings this week?
No, I think he's excited. I think he's excited to get in there and excited to play his old team. And again, it comes down to preparation, and the focus and wiring in during practice. And how we practice is how we're going to play. So we got to do a great job the next 3 days, 3.5 days of practicing with high intensity and wiring it into the calls, and then go out and executing those calls, and then and playing all as one. So we're excited about the next couple of days. It's a big challenge for us with the Minnesota Vikings. Again, they want to do a great job establishing the run. They got to do a lot of things on their offense that are very good. They got a high skill level, and they got a good scheme. So it's a big challenge.